Celui-ci, celui-là, celle-ci, celle-là, ceci. What's the difference between all of them? Well, that was actually a question in the Facebook group, so today's video is to explain to you how to use it. Je suis Nolwenn, votre prof de français, et on va commencer la leçon. Donc, les pronoms démonstratifs qu'on va voir, c'est celui-ci, celui-là, celle-ci, celle-là, ceci, cela, et celle-ci et celle-là. But before we get into the meaning of these, in order to be able to clearly understand what they mean, you need to know what's down there. That means ici means here, là is there, and là-bas is over there. And that's a common mistake, or that's something that a lot of my students get mixed up. So really, ici is here and là is there, but we often use là as here as well because supposedly they're very close. Note that là is also used as now. So for example, it would be là je vais partir au travail. So now I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna leave for work. Okay, so you might hear it in that context as well. Now here, celui-ci, celui-là, celle-ci, celle-là. What's the difference? Well, one is for masculine object because basically it replaces something. So if it's a masculine and singular object like un livre, a book, then it would be celui-ci or celui-là. Okay, so this one or that one. Then celle-ci, celle-là, that would be for feminine words, singular feminine, and then you got ceci, cela, masculine plural, and celle-ci, celle-là, feminine plural. So let's have a look at examples in sentences. But before that, I just want to remind you that there is also the version without the ci and la. So that would be celui, celle, ce, et celle. Okay, you don't pronounce the X and you don't pronounce the S. But that would be celui qui ou celui que, that would be the one that. Okay, so an example in a dialogue, that would be tu préfères quelle robe? Je préfère celle qui est longue et bleue. Ah, tu veux dire celle-là? So, which dress do you prefer? Well, I prefer the one that is long and blue. All right, you mean that one. Actually, there's no all right, but do you mean that one? Okay. Okay, let's say you have to make a choice between two choices, so it's very common to use these pronouns in that case. So let's have a look at an example. Tu préfères la robe noire ou la rouge? Oh, je préfère celle-là. So do you prefer the black dress or the red one? Note that for the red one, we just say la rouge. I prefer that one. Okay, you could also say cette robe-là, so that dress there, or that dress over there, which really means that one as well. So les pronoms sont généralement utilisés pour remplacer des choses. Okay, that is true. These pronouns, these in particular, generally replace things. There are some exceptions, and we'll talk about that. So, faire un choix parmi plein de choses. Maybe you have to make a choice between more than two choices, and you can use these as well. Okay, so for example, you walk into a boulangerie and say to the boulangère, bonjour, je voudrais un gâteau, qu'est-ce que vous avez? Alors, ils sont tous là. Ah, je vais prendre celui-là, celui au chocolat. Okay, so you're coming in, you want a cake, and apparently they're all in one section, so in front of you, and you say, oh, I'm going to take that one, the chocolate one. And note that it's very common for us to pronounce celui, suis. Okay, I don't know why. We take off the I and the L, suis. So, celui-là. Je vais prendre celui-là. It doesn't work with celle-là or cela or celle-là, the plural version, but it does work with celui. Donc, celui au chocolat, suis au chocolat. That's when we speak fast. It's definitely not formal, but this is common pronunciation. Okay, let's have a look at something that I thought I'd share with you, and it's quite funny, so I'll just start with the example. Okay, still thinking of that chocolate cake. Je vais prendre celui-là, là, celui au chocolat. Okay, je vais prendre celui-là, là. So you may hear the la twice, that's normal. It's actually because we're saying I'm going to take that one there. Okay, it may sound weird, but it does make sense. Okay, finally, I said earlier on, it's to replace things. There's some exceptions. Ça peut remplacer le pronom tonique. And we're going to see an example in a second, but basically, l'emploi de ces pronoms pour remplacer des personnes est généralement péjoratif. So it's not really nice to use these pronouns to replace people, and I'll show you why. So imagine that you're saying about someone, oh, il m'énerve, like he annoys me. Okay, il m'énerve. Now you could say to emphasize, il m'énerve lui, just to make it stronger. In English, it would be, he annoys me, him. Really wouldn't say that, but it would be really, he does annoy me. Okay, il m'énerve lui. And then you could even say, oh, il m'énerve celui-là. Il m'énerve celui-là. So that one annoys me. But when we say that one, it should be a thing. So in a way, it's got a negative vibe and it's very demeaning. Now, that's quite common to hear. Obviously, it's not a nice thing to say, but it's common. Ok, donc les pronoms démonstratifs, celui-ci, celui-là, celle-ci, celle-là, etc. Maintenant, vous pouvez essayer de les utiliser, de les incorporer si vous allez dans un magasin, par exemple. Et voilà, nous on se voit demain pour une autre vidéo. Si vous avez d'autres idées, d'autres thèmes, mettez-moi ces questions dans les commentaires. Salut!